Hello. I wasn't snooping. I just powered up an old phone trying to figure out who it belonged to. When I opened Messenger, there it was. Flirty messages, plans to meet up. I travel for work a few days every month, and they took full advantage of that. While I was in Europe, they were sneaking around behind my back. Thanks to no-fault laws, there's not much I can do legally, but I still need to know everything. Someone online suggested a way to gather more details before confronting her, but I'm not sure if surveilling her would break any laws. 20 years of marriage. Down the drain. At least we don't have kids. That's the one silver lining, though it doesn't make this hurt any less. Divorce here is a nightmare. It takes 5 years to finalize. I ordered a voice-activated recorder to put in her car and plan to access her current phone to read messages and maybe find a phone number. I have an appointment with a solicitor on Friday. So much has happened this week, I barely know where to start. I found his real name. More messages surfaced on WhatsApp, where I got his actual phone number. Turns out he's an old colleague of mine, someone I haven't seen or spoken to in at least 5 years, and even back then, we barely interacted. He lives nearby, but I have no idea how she even met him. Maybe a brief introduction at a company Christmas party? She rarely attended those, though. I went through the messenger chat again, this time combing through every word. It was like reading about a different woman, someone I didn't recognize. With me, she expected romance. No crude language, no dirty talk. Everything had to be about love and emotional connection. But with him, it was the complete opposite. He talked to her in the filthiest terms, and she loved it. The same words she would have been disgusted to hear from me. She was eating up from him. I don't see much real emotional connection between them, but he definitely gets her going, and that makes me sick. Yesterday, during work hours, I watched a live conversation between them on WhatsApp. He even attempted a video call, but I managed to decline it before she could pick up. The oldest messages go back 3 years, but there's no introduction, meaning their relationship started even before that. I met with my solicitor, and he has already begun the paperwork for a separation agreement. He advised me not to move any money around and to stay in the house for now. He also warned me that using hidden recording devices falls into a legal gray area. That only changes how I present my evidence. I won't reveal my sources. Instead, I'll show up with a journal listing every fact I know, no explanations on how I got them. I'm still waiting on that voice-activated recorder, and I also ordered a hidden camera disguised as a Bluetooth speaker. One important detail I forgot to mention. When I knew this guy, he was married. No idea if he still is. I'm considering hiring a private investigator to gather legal surveillance I can share with his wife. I already spoke to one, and the price isn't outrageous. Might be worth it, especially since my next work trip is coming up in less than 2 weeks. Everything is moving so fast. First off, I want to thank everyone in this community who's been supportive during this mess. Your advice is keeping me grounded. Of course, there's also the usual crowd of trolls, guys who think relationships work like a porn script or something Andrew Tate would spew. They'll never understand the real dynamics of this situation because it doesn't fit into their little fantasy world. Honestly, kicking someone when they're already down is pretty psychotic. But if that's your thing, all I can say is, get help. You know who you are. Here's what's new since my last update. I hired the PI, and he already confirmed the guy is still married to the same woman. He also got his exact address, though I told him not to share it with me. That's just an invitation to do something stupid in a weak moment. The PI will deliver the evidence directly to the guy's wife, so I don't have to get involved. I'm flying out Monday morning and returning Wednesday. While I'm gone, this guy plans to stop by my house multiple times for quick visits that won't raise suspicion with his wife. He's got his excuses lined up, going for a run, errands, whatever. But Tuesday night, he's staying over. No idea what lie he fed his wife for that one. Fake business trip? A buddy covering for him? Doesn't really matter. What matters is that the PI will get solid proof of him sneaking around when he's supposed to be somewhere else. I got my hands on a voice-activated recorder and stashed it in the fireplace. Since we never use it, there's no chance she'll look there. Originally, I thought about putting it in her car, but from the fireplace, it picks up everything in the living room crystal clear, including any conversations I have with her in that space. On top of that, I've got a camera disguised as a Bluetooth speaker, which will be carefully placed in the bedroom. Things haven't exactly gone smoothly since my last update. I've been keeping my distance by burying myself in work, but that excuse only works for so long. Normally, we have a pretty active sex life, at least 3 times a week. I can only dodge her advances under the pretense of stress for so long. The other night, she crawled into bed with me while I was sleeping in the spare room and initiated. I had to go along with it to avoid raising suspicion. I felt bad, like I was sending mixed signals, but then I reminded myself of what she's been doing behind my back. Chances are it'll happen again before I leave for my trip next week. I've made up my mind. I'm not moving out. I don't have family in Ireland, and I'm not about to impose on anyone. That means she's the one who has to go. Over the weekend, I intercepted a WhatsApp video call from the affair partner using her old phone. So now I've had the unfortunate experience of seeing his junk. Honestly? Not impressive. Talk to my solicitor again today. I now have a draft separation agreement in place outlining how we'll divide finances, handle the house, and everything else. It's a voluntary agreement, not required for divorce, but it helps smooth out the process. It states she has 14 days to move out. I'd prefer sooner, but my solicitor suggested being reasonable to ensure she actually signs. I'll be staying in the house, keeping up with the mortgage payments, and recouping any extra contributions when we eventually sell. As I mentioned before, Ireland has a ridiculous divorce process. I can't even file until we've been separated for 2 of the last 3 years. There's no big dramatic serving of papers moment, just the option to send them by registered mail after 2 years. In some of my comments, I mistakenly called this legal separation, but that's a whole different thing that doesn't even lead to divorce. Probably some relic for religious reasons. Some people have asked if I could file elsewhere, like Australia. Turns out I don't have to file in Ireland. I could move and file there if I wanted, but I'd rather stay put. My life and career are here. But if she refuses to sign or move out, I'll book the next flight to Australia, stay with family, and get the divorce done faster. It'll cost a fortune on short notice, but I'll justify it by using joint funds. Maybe even splurge on business class if she screws me over on housing. Bottom line, either she signs and moves out, or I leave the country and get it done even faster. If she wants to drag this out, signing is actually her best option. Now, about the confrontation. Some people have suggested the no-contact approach, basically ghosting her. I love the idea. It leaves the cheater stewing, second-guessing what you know. It's a form of psychological torture they impose on themselves. But that only works if I could just up and leave, which I can't. I need her out of the house, so there has to be some level of confrontation to push her to go. That said, I don't need to explain my emotions to her. I plan to be a stone wall, demanding answers but giving nothing in return. The whole infidelity baseball method doesn't quite fit my situation either. A lot of my evidence is technically illegally obtained, so I can't just throw it in her face. But I can call her out on her lies when she tries to spin them. I just won't tell her how I know. That should still work. Even the legal evidence I have won't be shown to her. That's going straight to the AP's wife. The PI will be keeping an eye on the house while I'm gone. The AP is staying over Tuesday night, but I also want proof of him sneaking in and out at other times so his wife can see multiple instances of him lying about his whereabouts. Wednesday, I have the day off, and my wife won't be home, so I'll have time to go through the PI's reports, review the audio, and pack up her stuff. Unless something major changes, my next update will be a live play-by-play from my hotel room in England on Tuesday night, followed by the confrontation Wednesday evening. It's D-Day. The AP is staying over tonight. I have a bedroom camera, a voice-activated recorder, VAR, in the sitting room, and a PI watching the house. I'm in a UK hotel for work, my first trip since discovering the affair, and my wife's first chance to meet with the AP since then. Yesterday, the VAR picked up our doorbell at 6:30 p.m., followed by my wife and a male voice. I couldn't make out much due to the TV and the fact that they didn't enter the sitting room or bedroom. I suspect they were in the kitchen. He stayed for about 30 minutes before leaving. My wife then spent the evening alone watching TV and went to bed at 11 p.m. This morning, she acted as usual before leaving for work. Now, I wait. As tempting as it is, I won't drink. I need a clear head. This won't be pleasant, but I'm prepared. I've had time to think, though sleep deprivation hasn't helped. Do I really want to see what I'm about to see? Many would say no, but I believe facing the full extent of the betrayal will help with closure and prevent years of speculation and rumination. People often take cheaters back because they don't grasp the full reality. It's easier to forgive the abstract concept of cheating than a series of concrete, repeated betrayals. If my wife asks for forgiveness, I'll have a crystal clear picture of what she's asking me to forgive. It will appear in graphic detail in my mind. I'll also get insight into their dynamic, seeing firsthand how they interact. It won't be easy, but it's necessary. Tomorrow's confrontation will be a mix of ghosting and infidelity baseball. I can't vanish completely since I need her to be the one who leaves, but I'll remain emotionally detached, refusing to share my thoughts or feelings. I'm hoping that has the same effect. I'll interrogate her with a mix of known and unknown questions. Each confirmed lie is a strike. 3 strikes, and I'm gone for good. Part of the reason for tonight is to gather more details so I have more answers I can use to catch her out lying. If she refuses to leave or sign the separation agreement, I am prepared to leave the country for good. I'm ending this no matter what, but she doesn't know that. Tonight, I expect to learn if they use protection, if she does things with him she has always denied me, and much more I can't even anticipate. Updates to come. 6:05 p.m. She is home. The VAR picked up the sound of the front door closing. 6:30 p.m. Haven't seen or heard anything since she got home. Wouldn't be unusual for her not to be in the sitting room or bedroom yet. She's probably in the kitchen. I have her old phone with me. I'll try connecting it to the hotel Wi-Fi and see if there are more messages since I last checked on Sunday. 6:45 p.m. Yeah, there are messages. They're a bit hit or miss since I don't get her regular texts, only those sent through WhatsApp or Messenger. She's making him lasagna. Maybe they'll choke on it. He's running late, expects to be there by 7:30 p.m. 7:22 p.m. Our star has arrived. Hope he smiled for the camera. The PI will be parked somewhere with a view of the place. Looking forward to seeing the photos and video. 7:32 p.m. They're in the sitting room, eating, occasional clanking of cutlery. TV is off. I can hear their conversation clearly. Boring stuff so far. talking about their days at work, colleagues. From here on, I'll only report anything interesting, but this is weird. It's like they're a married couple having a normal, everyday conversation. They haven't seen each other in a month, but it's so routine and familiar, like they do this every night. 7:41 p.m. First gut punch. She just asked about his kid, something about a problem he was having in school. The kid's in second class, which means he's between 7 and 9 years old, likely turning 8 this year. If she's so concerned, why is she wrecking this poor kid's family? There isn't the slightest bit of self-awareness. I've thought a lot about the child involved and whether it would be best not to tell the wife. Some would say it's not my place to interfere. But the way I see it, what happens to AP's family is his wife's business, and she alone has the right to decide. It's not my place to withhold the info she needs to make an informed decision. 7:54 p.m. Just heard the curtains close. They make a distinctive noise on the metal rail. I wonder if this helps the PI or if there's some rule against taking pictures through windows that would prevent them from taking the opportunity. We didn't discuss window snooping, but I suspect they're limited to filming them in a public setting where they can't reasonably expect privacy. 7:58 p.m. TV is on in the sitting room, but a door opened and closed. 8 p.m. Bedroom action. Actually, it's just her. I guess he's the one watching TV. She has a towel, so she's about to take a shower in the ensuite. False alarm. I missed the "I'm going for a shower" conversation, so I guess I'm not picking up everything. She must have said it quietly. Bye-bye.